Hey YouTube, Sack Guy here. Today I want to talk to you about the 84mm golfer. Now this is an early 80s version of it, and the way you can tell is that on the back you only have the corkscrew. The later model came out, had another implement on the second layer, and it was a long file you would open up, had a point on it you could clean your fingernails with, and it was a fingernail file. This was the early 80s model, just has the corkscrew. It's the only thing on the back. And hopefully you can pick it up here. Maybe I got a little too close, but it's got, if you look at the corkscrew, it's got the rib in there. Shows it's an early model corkscrew. It's got the toothpick tweezers, got the tweezers here and your toothpick over here, no key ring, and it's a 2-layer knife. You have your master blade, combination tool, get into that one a little bit more in a moment, and then your scissors. Now, some people think, or it has been written in some articles and whatnot, that this was the predecessor of the 91mm compact, which is basically this same knife, except it's 91mm long. The newer versions, like I said, this is an early 80s model. In the late 80s, early 90s, they had one that had the long fingernail file. Now they have the second implement is the hook. And the 91mm version has a pen in it for marking your scorecard and so on. Like I said, 84mm handle, model, which is 3 5/16 of an inch long. Blade is 63mm, which is 2.5 inches. Opened, it's 146mm, which is 5 3/4 of an inch. And the width is a 1/2 inch, which is 12mm. This is a fairly handy little knife if you want to carry something very, very basic. It's one of the smaller, well, not too many of the 84mm knives have the scissors on them any longer. And if you can see here, this has been used a bit. At one time, it was one of the main knives in my daily carry. Now, the only drawback to me on this knife was this combo tool. Again, because the point on it is offset, when you would go to try and screw things, flatheads, it had a tendency to fold up on you. And this does not have a half stop on it. It'll fold up, pinch your fingers. I've had that happen a couple times. And they say you can use the edge to unscrew or tighten Phillips heads, and I have done that, but it's one of those things where it's a combination to do many things but not one thing well. It will open up a can. It's also a can opener. You have to use a little bit of force, but you can open up a can with it. And also it's a cap lifter, and then the wire bender. Handy little knife, good for light tasks, running around the house fixing stuff if you need to, and a very compact size. I like the 84mm. I hope you enjoyed this little review of the 84 millimeter golfer. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And remember, always be prepared.